welcome to the Instagram stories for Friday, March 8th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Let's start off with the biggest news of the day, which is a report that comes from the Earned Media Insights platform, Memo. And they published a new report which looks at how social media engagement relates to content readership, and basically whether more social media shares and comments leads to more people actually clicking through to read the post. Let's give this a little bit of context. Over the past few months on this show, one topic that has come up repeatedly is the fact that social media has become more of a sharing within some kind of private group, meaning that if you see a post online that you like, you are not going to necessarily share it publicly, but rather are more likely to share it via DM or text message or WhatsApp with some smaller group of people that you think that content would be appreciated by. With that context, let's look at this new report from Memo. Their key finding from this investigation is that, quote, across all the articles and topics we analyzed, we found no clear connection between social engagement and actual readers of the news, end quote. So let's explain that. There's no direct link between how much engagement a post gets in social media apps versus how many people then actually read it. You probably knew this already. Most people commenting online aren't actually reading the post. They're just reacting to the headline. That's it. Interestingly, they point out that even in a crisis, such as, for instance, the war in Ukraine or what's happening in Gaza, the correlation between social media engagement and readers reaches moderate at best. So what that means is, even in a very highly charged situation, people still aren't reading the articles that are being posted online and shared on social media. This report, which I will link to in the show notes, also has a TLDR, which, if you're not familiar, that means too long, didn't read. It's a little summary at the bottom. What they say is social media engagement is absolutely not a reliable indication of people engaging in news. There is a moderate correlation for crisis news, but it's really not worth betting on that specific thing. Again, I will link to this in the show notes so you can check it out for yourself. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some Threads news and some Instagram news, so stick around. And we're back. Okay, let's dive into the Instagram news. Instagram has secretly added an emoji game inside the DM inbox. This game is the paddle game. You might call it Breakout, or maybe you'd call it Pong, but basically you move your finger to move a paddle that catches a bouncing ball across the screen. Here's how to get access to the secret Instagram Pong-like game. Open up a DM chat inside your inbox, send an emoji to someone, and then click on it. After that, you will be transported to a screen with a paddle and an emoji of whatever you sent. The emoji moves faster as the game progresses and the background color gets darker. If you test this and you don't see it, make sure you're using the latest version of the Instagram app, which is a reminder to always make sure that you're using the latest version of the Instagram app. Just set your apps to auto-update when you're on Wi-Fi. That's just going to be the best solution always. And lastly, a quick hit of Threads news. Adam Mosseri posted in Threads, we've been testing the ability to save a draft and also to take photos within the Threads app. We are rolling both out to everyone. Hope these make it easier to share your ideas on the fly. As always, open to your feedback and other suggestions to improve your experience on Threads. That is the entire thread. I will link to it in the show notes so that you can see it for yourself. Frankly, I don't think it's very exciting, and I don't want to spend any more time talking about those two things. That's it for today's news, and now I'd like to take a moment to give a shout out to a listener who wrote an awesome review for this show on Apple Podcasts. They called it a must listen for social media marketing and gave me 5 stars, which makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Their actual review said, I'm a social media strategist at an advertising agency, and this podcast keeps me up to date in bite-sized, easily digestible episodes. Big thanks to Daniel for producing it. It makes me better at my job. And that came from Crossing 104. I'm not sure who Crossing 104 is. If you send me a DM and you tell me you are Crossing 104, I will send you a lovely gift. So thank you for the review. If you would like to leave a review of this show, which would be very much appreciated, you can do that directly from the show notes. Even if you don't necessarily listen on Apple Podcasts, you can still use the link in the show notes to leave a review. It helps other people to find the show, and it's really the best way to say thank you. As always, I appreciate you listening, and be sure to come back on Monday for the next episode of the Instagram Stories.
Instagram news got you covered, sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave, without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and you gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you got some good content or you want to run ads, at Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, hey, thanks for listening all the way to the end of the episode. I had an idea I wanted to run by you and get your input. I was thinking about getting back into speaking in front of groups with respect to social media. It's a little bit tough because I'm not a social media marketer, so I don't have a ton of experience that would relate to social media marketers. But I was thinking about doing some kind of presentation or talk where it's just Instagram myths debunked. And I take Instagram myths that people believe, and instead of explaining why those are myths, I just play a clip of Adam Mosseri explaining why it's a myth. I don't really do much talking other than posing the question and putting Adam Mosseri's answer. I am confident that I could do at least 15 minutes worth of this content, if not 20 or even 30 minutes of this kind of content. So, some questions. Number one, do you think this is a good idea? Number two, do you think that this is something that people would want to see in some kind of talk environment? And number three, would you be willing to be a tester if I did it on Zoom? Send me a DM at Daniel Hill Media. I'd love to get all of your feedback on those questions and get your opinions. That would really mean a lot.